defense-like strategy is going to work, because I think we're going to be in a lot of shootout-type games. Like, that's what McCarthy has said, and that's what he did at Green Bay. And so we just need to have a pass rush that's able to sort of, like, combat that. And right now we don't. So, yeah, there's my Cowboys rant.
That's fair. That's definitely fair.
Again, stuff could have happened. I don't know who we've signed and like all that stuff, but I was going on about Byron Jones and how he's going to be missed.
Go through a tunnel, Amanda?
Yeah, Amanda, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. What happened?
Your audio just sounded weird. That's all it was.
Oh, okay.
Jerry Jones is throttling your coverage.
Yeah,
like you bad-mouthing the team like that.
It's almost going back to that whole Verizon wildfire thing, because for whatever happened, I saw that we disconnected from OBS, so now there's 2 live streams. So
we're in Jerry's world now.
Yeah, we're just
Jerry's
living
bubble.
a dream. We're just living a dream now. We got a couple minutes until we hit 4:55, and then we can take a 5-minute break.
Hold on, I got LeBron.
Hit me with
it. Yeah,
Ronnie.
Check it out.
All right.
Now, is this real? LeBron looks to be wearing number 196 in a jersey that's too big, but that was the style in like 2002. And then we got the man himself, MJ, on the right there. Maybe.
That's definitely. Is you asking? Is that Jordan?
Yeah, is that Jordan?
That's Jordan.
It looks like him.
There exists some Jordan, LeBron James scrimmage footage in some capacity, and the internet is taking this hiatus from sports to try and find it.
Man, LeBron edge up still messed up.
Why are you doing like that?
Yeah, LeBron's hairline for being like 17 is a bit lacking.
Yeah, like look at it. You look at it. It's just like it go backwards. Yeah, right there, it go backwards. Like it's supposed to go straight down.
Like
somebody cut too far. You can see
his sideburns are like 3 inches above his temple.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? That's just way off. But it's okay though, LeBron. You still a billionaire. So
still hitting the wine cellar.
Hey, here's some news coming in as we have a couple minutes left. Todd Gurley is looking for a trade.
He's on the Rams, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But he's hasn't been as good though since his ACL, right? He's
he been injury prone, and he really haven't really been doing.
He's still top 5.
And he played at Georgia, so he sucks.
Yeah. He's top 5 last year? You think so, Jared? Top 5?
I don't have the stats in front of me, but if you're asking me top 5 running backs last year, I gotta assume that top 5 is
CMC.
McCaffrey.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey, Lamar Jackson.
That guy on the Bears.
Lamar, hey, don't be disrespectful. Lamar Jackson's a quarterback.
It was a joke,
Lamar Jackson's a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Don't be disrespectful.
Okay, so say you're a team and you hear Todd Gurley's name come up on the trade block. What'd you trade him for Todd Gurley?
I mean, some pretty high picks, I'd say.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I think he's kind of expired. I think running backs expire so much more quickly now.
They do.
So,
especially someone like Gurley who's been facing injuries, even back in college.
Yeah.
When we get back from the break, I got something to say when it comes to them doing running backs like that, because that Tennessee thing, oh no. If I was Derrick Henry, I wouldn't go for that. But,
Well, let's do just that. Let's go ahead and head to our 5-minute commercial break, and then when we come back, we'll have more of whatever we're doing. All right? Everybody sounds good? Go get something to eat. At this point, we're just kind of doing whatever at this point. All right, let's go to break.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Having trouble finding Connor's middle school? Would you like directions?
No, why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with him over homework.
home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No, I need help. He's very smart, but his mind wanders. He's disorganized.
I think I understand.
Oh, good.
Finding best potatoes for French fries.
No!
Russet, fingerling, Yukon Gold.
Why don't you understand me?
Sorry, I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, I had one thing on my mind. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball every chance I could. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn the signs of a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. Because the sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery. I'm Paul George. Protect the ones you love. Spot a stroke F-A-S-T. Fast. Life is why. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Okay, Simon, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. And what do people normally wear?
Clothes.
Exactly. So now Mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Clothes keep us warm, they look good, and if we go out without them, the neighbors will talk. So it's important to know how to get dressed. Here's how it's done. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. If you're wearing a tie, it goes over, round, through, and pull tight. Tuck your shirt into your pants and zip up your fly. Socks going first, then shoes right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops. The rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears.
I love bunnies.
Good to know. Now remember, spots don't go with stripes, socks don't go with sandals, and if you've tucked in your shirt, wear a belt. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But spending just 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier and could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. For fun 2-minute videos to watch while brushing, visit 2min2x.org. That's 2min2x.org. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Getting support from friends online kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
Instead of smoking after I ate, I'd get up and take a walk.
I missed having a cigarette in my hand, so I'd hold a pen or a straw, anything.
Until I knew I wouldn't give in to temptation, I spent more time with my friends who didn't smoke.
I went to places that were smoke-free.
I didn't stay quit the very first time I tried.
I kept on trying, and I learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
I quit.
I quit.
I quit.
We did it, so can you.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and CDC.
I'm Tiffany. I have some tips for you on how to quit smoking like I did. First, I did some reading about it. I found a lot of great advice on how to quit smoking and picked out the ways I thought would work best for me. I started by setting a quit date. Then I threw out my ashtrays, lighters, and matches. I did other things too, like exercising more, and it worked. But I'd still get cravings, especially on long car rides. To help me with that, I put a picture of my mother in my car. She died of lung cancer from smoking cigarettes when I was only 16. Now I have a 16-year-old daughter. That picture of my mother reminds me that I don't want to miss all the things my daughter is going to do in her life, including turning 17.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and CDC.
The following is a production of WEGL 91.1 FM.
ball is gone. It's a walk-off home run for Stephen Williams.
WEGO Sports,
The Tigers are headed to the College World Series.
where every
Touchdown Auburn! Zakoby McClain!
game
They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow!
lives.
And welcome back inside the Extra Point here on WEG on 911 and Eagle Eye TV. Hello everybody, Jared Dillard, and joining me in their quarantine houses are Jack Hart, Devin Foreman, and Amanda, who I believe is still on the road somewhere. So we have that going
On the
for us.
road, I'm in Mesquite. Y'all
Mesquite?
don't know where that is.
Isn't that a flavor?
Where do you
It's
think they got the
outside of
name,
Dallas.
Jared?
What was it?
It's outside of Dallas. So I'm about to drive through all of the areas where people say, I'm from Dallas. And then I go, where in Dallas? And they go, Mesquite. And I'm like, that's not actually Dallas.
Oh, this is where the gatekeeping comes in.
Yeah. It's
Ah.
like Atlanta, like OTP and ITP. It's like that sort of deal.
Like when people say they're from North Chicago, but they're actually just from Milwaukee.
Or
Yeah.
or they're actually from Canada or something like that. I'm kidding.
And then, I mean, you know, one day I was going to move to Canada, but now the border's shut down, so I don't know what I'm doing now. Like,
The border's not shut down.
it's for non-essential people only. I mean, wait, it's for
And if
essential
there's
people
one
only.
thing, one thing I know about Jared, he's non-essential.
Yeah. So, I can't get into Canada. So, there goes that. I was going to move to, like, Saskatchewan or something. I always say Saskatchewan, but
Not
that's the
a
only one I know how to
place?
say.
You did not say that correctly.
I can't say it again. Saskatchewan?
Yeah, that's it.
That's
Yeah,
right.
you said
Okay, there's
All
also,
right.
like, Ottawa and stuff like that.
That's a state. Territory.
I don't know where
Okay.
Devin's at. I was kind of waiting for him.
Devin turned his mic off because he was embarrassed that I was watching him eat food out of a takeout box. So hopefully he'll finish and come back soon. He's putting on those quarantine pounds, as you said. So
I was like, who cares if you don't have a takeout box?
I was laughing so hard when he was talking about that.
All right, Jack.
there's been a crime committed, Jared,
Against who?
against the Auburn Tigers
Why?
by ESPN's BPI, who projected them as a 5 seed, losing to Liberty in the first round.
We are 5-12 upset.
We were the 5-12 upset, apparently, in the simulation.
That is the second most common upset.
I mean, it's true. Like, look, 5-12 upsets happen. It's just.
Yeah, six
But to
tenths most
Liberty-
common for fun.
I mean, wasn't Liberty the 12 seed that took out Mississippi State last year?
It didn't even happen, and I'm upset.
Well, all we can do is just imagine at this point, right? I mean, ain't much we can do after that. But even if it's in a simulation or whatever it may be, doesn't matter. Auburn's still number one in our hearts. Like, what's stopping us from pulling up Florida and just declaring Auburn national champions?
I mean, we don't have to do any declaring. I mean, we're still SEC champions.
Hold on, I gotta turn Devin's mic back on because he's back from what I assume chowing down or whatever. How you doing, Devin?
What's up? How are your wings?
Hey, that was really good. I'm telling you, that was really good. My brother had brought me some. I said, let me snack on just a little bit. That was really good. I almost laughed when you were talking about me. Don't do that.
Well, now that you're back, I have to go get something right quick. So I'll be back in like 30 seconds.
Wait a minute.
I don't even know what you're saying anymore. I gotta go get something.
I just want to say that in this same simulation, the Final Four was, I mean, I know we all had it. Number 4, Wisconsin, number 4, Maryland, number 6, BYU, and number 6, Virginia.
Okay, I can see Virginia getting in there.
Yeah, I
As
see
a-
Virginia.
But, I mean, the lowest seed was 4, and we had 2 of them in Wisconsin and Maryland. I can see Maryland, not Wisconsin. And I mean, 2 4 seeds and 2 6 seeds. If that had happened for real, that'd be great. But I mean, looking at it on my phone screen, it's not very satisfying.
No, I can see Virginia just because of the way they play ball, but
They break basketball, and everyone's just a victim of it.
yeah, most definitely.
Hey, I had to go get my pasta that I have now. Yeah, I got pasta.
For dinner, it's 5 o'clock.
Okay, that's better than the alternative to 5 o'clock. That's how I get banned.
Oh my god.
I love when you make alcohol jokes, Jared.
I mean, that's what happens when you're depressed.
Oh my gosh. And then the depression one always follows. Yeah, Jared,
Look,
too dark.
all right, guys.
We're all depressed now, so you're not special
Come on,
anymore.
Jared.
I have not seen the sun in 13 days. I don't know what it's like to be outside. Remember when
Look, it's right there behind you.
Go on a walk.
to where? Death?
Just walk outside.
If coronavirus doesn't get me, the pollen sure will. And the pollen doesn't get me, my bacterial infection that I'm currently fighting will. I need a bubble.
Hey, ain't that movie Bird Box where they couldn't look outside?
I don't
Cover
know.
their eyes. Yeah, Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, Jared, go ahead and do that. Jared, just walk. I'll come out. Where you at, Jared? I'll come walk with you, bro.
So
Get some fresh air.
the Thunder have released test results, and none of the players have tested positive for coronavirus. So there's that.
I'm worried about the Lakers.
Thank God. I was so worried about all those Thunder players, Jared. I was
Hey,
really
I'll worry about Chris Paul. I'll worry about Chris Paul.
Yeah, Chris Paul, because that's who I'm supposed to be.
Yeah. That comes back to the karma thing. But look. I ain't going outside.
Jared, be honest though. Like, I'm being like real honest with you. You should definitely go outside and get some air.
Yeah, Jared, you need to go outside for like your mental health. It's like your well-being. Get some fresh air.
Oh, Amanda, don't worry. That's gone. That's gone.
Jared.
The mental health that's gone. That ship sailed about a year and a half ago.
Jared, maybe this is God's way of telling you that you need to take some time for yourself. You have nothing but time on your hands.
Exactly.
Go outside. You can meditate, read some books.
Ooh, I should line up the candle. Hold up.
Go to Miami.
Yeah. No, just kidding. That's a joke.
Jared's off to Miami.
Jared, you know what, you guys? Don't worry. I got Jared. This is what I'm going to do, you guys. This is what I'm going to do. Me and Jared, I'm taking Jared to Miami, or we going somewhere where a beach at somewhere where I can really just, soak in the air. Like, he need fresh air.
Jared, I heard that light. I heard that lighter click, and I really thought something else was happening. So, thanks for keeping me honest.
Don't worry, I have asthma. I can't do that. That was I just lit up mulled cider. So mulled cider is my new candle that I just lit up.
Hey, Jared, you got a lot of stuff going on. You got, it's just, my boy, Jared, I love you, bro.
Hey.
Know that.
I was gonna say something, but that would have got too dark. Let's talk about. I mean, we ran through NFL free agency.
I'm really struggling to find something to talk about here, Jared. I mean, everyone's talking about Tom Brady, and rightfully so. I mean, we're looking at a Bucs offense that's going to be Tom Brady, Ronald Jones, O.J. Howard, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin all lining up. Which, I mean, every game for the Bucs in the fall might be like that Bucs-Rams game where they both put up 40. I don't see this Bucs defense stopping anyone, but I also don't see anyone stopping this Bucs offense if Tom Brady can get his downfield passing game, which hopefully he can with Bruce Arians at the helm.
I don't know. I honestly, I don't think the Buccaneers make the playoffs next year anyway.
Well, I don't think so either, but I think they do so in a blaze of glory. I think they go maybe 9-7 and score 40 points every game. But
look, Devin, I know you have a confused face, but understand this: the Buccaneers could score 30 points a game, But Tom Brady's on offense. We haven't talked about the defense side of the ball yet.
Yeah, can you name a Bucs defensive player? Like my favorite teams in their division, and I can't.
I can name one. It's because he's a former Auburn player.
Okay, so can I ask
Okay, yeah.
Can I ask
Okay.
Do we talk about the Kansas City Chiefs defense?
It got better though.
But do we talk about them though? Do we just say, "Oh my God, the Kansas City Chiefs defense"? Do we say anything about that?
But Pat Mahomes revitalizes offenses like Tom Brady can't.
And Kelsey and the running back Hill.
Travis Kelce and the other guy.
I mean, Pat Mahomes and Tom Brady are a different breed, and we've seen that in the time.
I'm not saying it the same. I'm just saying like just focusing on one side of the ball. You know what I'm saying? That's what you know. So I was just asking.
I mean, that's fair.
You know, I mean, we know the Buccaneers gonna be better than the Falcons. So
the Buccaneers won't be last. Honestly, I don't know who's last in that division now.
I think I have a good idea of who's going to be last in the division.
Who do you think, Jay? Who do you think?
Them boys.
Them boys from in the Low Country that in the past 3 months have lost Cam Newton, Luke Kuechly, Greg Olson, James Bradbury, Eric Reed, Gerald McCoy, Mario Addison, Vernon Butler, and Greg Van Roten. All, and that's just to name the stars. I don't know who's donning the black and blue in the fall. It's going to be a surprise to me when they run out the tunnel.
It's gonna be a surprise to you. Never wrong.
I mean, with so many leagues taking hiatuses, I mean, you may see, I don't know, Kimba come back to Charlotte, but he's in Panthers uniform.
Yeah. Whoa.
I mean, think about Boston for a second. Boston lost Mookie Betts and Tom Brady in like 2 months.
This is the equivalent of the NBA summer 2 years ago, but for the entire sports world, I think.
Yeah, I can see that. I like that. I like that, Jack.
You know, in this quarantine. Also, excuse me for eating my pasta because I'm very hungry. What are you guys doing? You know, we talked about sports, and that's neither here nor there at this point now. But what was your last Auburn event before it all came crashing down?
Oh, that's a good question, Jared. It's correct me if I'm wrong here. I'm struggling to recall in what order they happened, but I attended the Texas A&M ball game, the unfortunate loss to A&M at home, which it feels like weeks ago, but I can't be more than like, that was the Wednesday before spring break, so not even 15 days ago.
When was the baseball game where you saw me on top of a parking deck?
Oh, that was a Wright State game, so I believe that was the weekend before then. Yeah, I mean that was because the Sanford game got moved to Wednesday, and then got canceled because of rain, and that was the same day as A&M. So that was the last sporting event. Yeah, I know Hillman went to Rocky Top and saw the final Auburn basketball game, but yeah, A&M was the last for me. And you know, I had kind of checked out of sports for spring break. I needed a little rest and relaxation and stopped paying attention to sports a little bit. And a little did I know that sports was going to stop paying attention to sports and just shut the whole thing down. I was really panicking about all the stuff I was going to have to read up on before the extra point on what would have been this past Monday, coming back from spring break and figuring out what had happened. But it was kind of unavoidable in the news cycle. I found myself watching SportsCenter more than when there were actually sports on, just to see what the heck they'd be talking about. And by day 2, we were pretty much digging into top 10 lists, and on this day 20 years ago. So I struggle to see what they're talking about now. I do know that Pardon the Interruption has changed their name to Pardon the Isolation temporarily. Which have some fun
Okay,
with.
guys, I'm coming up on my exit, so I'm gonna dip out.
All right,
Thank
Amanda.
you for coming, Amanda.
Yeah, thank you for chatting with us for an hour and 15 minutes. That's not bad. Not bad at all.
No, yeah, I'll see you guys on Monday, right? That's the next one.
We'll figure out what's happening with Friday's show. But yes.
Oh, okay.
Friday might be a split squad. Get all 9 of us in here.
Yeah, we gotta figure out what happened to Carter. That's what we got. That's what we got to figure out first.
I have my hunches, but I'll leave the speculation off the air.
And then we have to get other people a better internet connection, and then we'll be good to go.
Yeah.
All right, Amanda, you take care of yourself,
Bye.
okay?
All right, Amanda.
Bye.
All right. And then there was 3. Sir, what are you doing?
I put me a bandana on. I ain't want to wear my hat no more.
Well, I mean, look, here's the thing that we have to realize. As we get into this situation of sports where there's no sports, we realize that as an industry, when things halt to a stop like this, we're kind of out of a job. So, from here on out, the Extra Point is not only a sports talk show, but just a talk show in general.
Lovely.
So, here we are.
I take it.
So, what's the craziest stuff that you've seen from this shutdown of school? I know you saw something in our Walmart.
Yeah, do you want just positive things or negative things?
Oh, I want the negative. You know how I roll.
A whole lot of things. Like I said before the show, before we got on, I actually seen some people get the final milk. I seen like it's just Walmart, just crazy. If you want to go to a show and you really bored, go to Walmart. You're gonna be very, very entertained.
Which Walmart is this?
See, right now I'm in Valley, Alabama. So I went to the one in Valley, but the one in Auburn, both of them are Auburn and Opelika is really good. About the same.
I do have some Walmart news to report. For the first time since I have been a student at Auburn University, so nearly approaching 3 years, the big TV in the South College Walmart is not showing an Auburn game, be it the Iron Bowl, the Georgia game, or the basketball game against LSU. And I think that's really, really telling of where we are. I mean, not even the rock of our society, which is the Auburn game rerun at Walmart, is playing right now. And I think that's kind of indicative of where we are. And I think we can all learn a lot from them.
This is the end of times.
I swear, because you can go in there at any time. It's going to be, and it seems like I always catch in the fourth quarter when we play the Auburn Alabama game. I always catch it like fourth quarter, like every time. So most definitely. But Jack, where are you located?
Hey, I'm in my apartment in Auburn, Alabama, weathering the storm.
Okay, okay. Jared, where are you? I mean,
Auburn. It's funny because if I walk out my door now, which I haven't done in 13 days, it feels like, I can actually see the Auburn Walmart.
Hey, Jared, real talk, though, you really need to go outside. It's okay to go outside.
I mean, I know it's okay to go outside. It's just, I'm kind of a hermit. I think Jack can probably tell you a bit more. That
it's hard to get Jared out of his house even when it isn't the end times.
Yeah, when I go back inside after the morning show and work and all that, it's kind of hard to get me out. So I'm dug in right now. I'm like a tick. I'm dug in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what you doing, Jared, to get the time to go by?
I said yesterday on the show, I think this is the perfect time where we should probably start, or I should probably start watching the Star Wars series. Like, I know Jack's been pushing me to do it.
Jack, should I get into that? Should I get into that? I need something too. I'm trying to get some ideas.
I mean, if you've got Disney Plus, it's a great investment of your time. It's let's see. I haven't done math in like 2 weeks, so give me a second.
I haven't done math in 5 years, so you're all right.
Let's see, that's 90 minutes times 9, 810 minutes divided by 60. I mean, that's 14 hours of movies you could be watching. Plus, there's the Mandalorian. If you haven't seen that, that's another probably 10 hours of your life you could waste. And then when you get done with that, you can do what I do every day and go on Twitter and get angry at people for having opinions about Star Wars. So,
you know what? That sounds like a bit. I like that.
It's like sports. I mean, it's the same thing. It's people having opinions that are usually wrong and terrible, and you got to go set them straight.
The funny thing is, the crew yesterday, they pitched the idea that for every show, and we just go in order, that we should all start one of the Star Wars movies at the same time, and then just get live reactions to it as it's happening.
I'll do you one better, Jared. I think what we should do is we should watch a Star Wars movie before the show, and then leave the second hour as a roundtable discussion about our thoughts of it.
You know,
it's like a little book club.
So
we'll hammer out we can hammer out the details, but I'll posit that.
So crazy things are happening, and I mean, even like movie release dates are being pushed back. Like the movie theater industry gone. It's over.
Oh yeah.
The age of Netflix is here.
Hey Jared.
I mean, take a look at Wall Street. I know everyone's having a bad day on Wall Street, bad investments, all that. The worst investment made this year was me buying an AMC unlimited refill popcorn bucket, because that is not paid out at all. I'm out $25 for nothing.
You didn't get the March, really.
I don't want to hear it from MSNBC. Get me on there.
I think Devin caught it. I don't know what happened to him. There he is. Hold up. There we go.
I'm sorry. My brother had walked in. My dad said he wanted to be on the show, so
he can. I mean, everybody else's parents have been on the show.
You gonna try to get him? Oh, he said never mind. He got me an Alabama shirt, so.
I mean, I had an Alabama background for like 3 seconds, so anything's possible at this point.
It's disappointing.
Jared, here you go, Jared.
Hey, Jared.
Hello, how are you?
Doing good.
That's Jack right there.
How you doing, Jack?
How's it going? Doing well.
Y'all doing an awesome job. Y'all should have let me play. You would have let me on your team, we would have beat Devin.
See, I want a rematch. because I want a rematch. I don't know when, but
Devin orchestrated this whole virus so we can't run it back.
Yeah.
Man, God bless you guys.
Thank you. Keep your shoes strapped on you, because I want a rematch.
I can't listen, bro. I ain't got another game in me. My whole entire team is through. Like, everybody done.
Well, the crazy thing is, it wasn't too long ago that student media looked like it was going to have its own tournament, and then that fell through.
You see how everything just went, like, south so quickly? I think my last Auburn, like, oh, God, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I think that was my last Auburn event, because I ain't do no sport. I ain't do nothing after that. I just really chilled.
Yeah, I guess, if you think about it. For some of us, that was our last Auburn sporting event, was the Extra Point All-Star Game.
I really was chilling after that, but hey, I'm definitely gonna get into the Star Wars thing, man. I'm gonna start that probably tomorrow, and then, hey, I gotta figure some more stuff out, dude.
I gotta apply for jobs.
We gotta figure a lot out, yeah.
Yeah. Some of us don't have much long in college. I gotta find a big boy job.
Yeah, Jared. It's okay, Jared. Hey, I'm wishing you the best of luck, Jared.
Hey, don't worry. When my signing day comes in a couple of months, and I get to pull out a hat, all right?
Yeah.
It'll be fun. Well, it's gonna be via Zoom, but it'll be fun.
Hey, I'm about to say, hey, you need some pictures taken. It, you know what I'm saying? Gotta promote yourself.
There are some schools from the Bay have piqued my interest. Mobile Bay. Not
okay.
Yeah,
not Tampa or San Francisco.
Not San Francisco Bay, not Green Bay, not Tampa Bay. The worst one, Mobile Bay.
Also, Jared, explain to me. Tell me like the exact school you're talking about. No beating around the bush. You know what I'm saying? Just be out right here.
South Alabama.
Go to South Alabama. You give me a reason to go.
Wait, where are you going?
What you?
What you mean? That's not a package deal.
Listen, you finna go to South Alabama?
Maybe.
Give me a second.
You gotta stay here to hold it down. You gotta hold it down here.
Jared, we already had that.
We already had that conversation. I don't know what I'm gonna do next year. I really don't.
You're gonna be in Wiggles sports department. Yeah. Nothing's gonna change. It's just I won't be there.
Jared, who I'm gonna laugh at?
Easy, Jack.
Yeah.
Jack is my. While we in the studio, he's my left hand man. So that's my left hand man. Then Carter from the league. When you leave,
Well, Carter's already left apparently because I don't know where he's at.
So you got to think about it. I just got into this, and now everybody that I came in with, for me, is leaving. How you think I feel?
I mean,
trade. I bet you feel like Cam Newton right now.
I feel so sad, like, because now, like, Carter finna leave, then Jack gonna probably leave, then Jared gonna leave. Then what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna leave. So it's just so sad right now.
No, it'll be good because there's gonna be other people there. Alex and Davis will still be there, and they're weird. Bay and Jacob will still be there.
I could take
There are still good people there. They're just not as cool as I am. I mean, let's just be honest.
Miss you, bro.
The time is 5:26.
Do you want to talk about the winners and losers of free agency now that I'd like to hope that it's all shaken out?
We can do that. You want to break it down by division or?
I mean, what I'll do is, I mean, I have an ESPN article pulled up right now that has declared winners and losers, and we can just talk about if we agree with that.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
So obviously the winners of the free agency champions 20 years running, the Cleveland Browns, undefeated in free agency.
Well,
they have, I mean,
other than sign Case Keenum, what do they do?
Case Keenum, Austin Hooper.
I'm gonna say Austin Hooper, bro.
Austin Hooper, who is maybe the best receiving tight end. Who was that a victim of the Falcons offense, or is he actually the real deal? We'll see when Baker Mayfield is tossing to him in the fall. And then some offensive line moves there. So we don't know whether or not the discipline is going to improve for Cleveland. I mean, lest we forget the 360 helmet swing, which feels like an eternity ago, but still feeling the repercussions of that now. And we'll see whether or not. I mean, this will be Baker's third or fourth year in the league. It's time for him to shake the rookie mistakes.
Hey, I like Baker, and the Browns, they really do a good job in the free agency, getting like talent. They definitely can get there and do that. But like you said, it's time for them to take that next step, especially Baker. He got too much around him not to be good. So I think it's gonna be a good year for him. He got, sort of like humbled this year, so I'm pretty sure he'll come back a little bit, sharper. So I'm gonna give him a benefit of the doubt. I can agree with that.
I'm skeptical of Baker though, because that's the exact same thing we said last year, is that there's too much talent around him for him to not be good, and we saw what happened with the Browns. They were barely contending for a wild card spot, especially with that.
Talented? Can you just have too much talent?
If you can't put a lid on it, like I don't think that was the problem for the Browns. I think the Browns had a lot of other issues other than discipline. I think they had a lot of teamwork issues and especially a lot of coaching issues with Kitchens at the helm. I just don't see how the amount of talent the Browns have can continue to go to waste. And is it time for a quarterback change? Do they need a veteran that can lead all that talent to the promised land that Baker has been unable to do?
I was going to say it during our quarterback discussion, but I kind of felt like it was too out there. But what are the possibilities that quarterbacks like Cam Newton or Jameis Winston go to Cleveland? I mean, it seems it seems crazy because they just like Case Keenum, so why would you go get Jameis and Cam? But the landscape of quarterbacks changed so drastically. The Browns probably didn't think they were on the market till now.
Man, the thought of Jameis Winston in Cleveland is just
funny. Yeah,
yeah, it's funny, and I need to see it happen.
Oh my gosh! So who they said was next? Like, who's the next winner?
Okay, next up we have the Buffalo Bills, obviously acquiring Stephon Diggs, re-signing guard Quentin Spain, Ed Oliver is returning, and they signed veterans Quentin Jefferson and Vernon Butler. And once again, we have defensive mind Sean McDermott, former Carolina Panthers defensive coordinator, picking up former Carolina Panther and Redskin Josh Norman, the lights-out cornerback. Once again, the big thing, much like the Browns, is going to be whether or not their young but talented quarterback is going to be able to lead all this talent to some kind of success.
And with Tom Brady leaving, that's a plus too. So
the Bills may actually be the biggest winner in free agency.
You know,
because not only who they got, but who left.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Brady gone now, so it's like free reigns. Now, if the New England Patriots win without, then the Bills need to just tear everything down. So this your year to win the whole division right now. So
I think the crazy thing is that like the Bills, once again, the Bills were a 10-win team this year. That's with Tom Brady in the division, and that was with whatever they had.
Did they get swept by the Pats?
Yeah.
Those were pretty
toward the end of the year,
gnarly games. And if you take Tom Brady out of the equation, the Bills win those games pretty handedly with that stellar defense.
Yeah, remember the Bills had that game where they could have won, but Josh Allen got knocked out the game. So the backup came in, and they had like 3 drives inside the 20, and they couldn't score.
Mm-hmm.
And that was that game.
I mean, obviously you can't make this argument in any kind of professional sense of the word, but I mean, we could have been looking at a 12-13 win Bills team last year if the offense could have gotten it together and if Tom Brady wasn't part of the equation and maybe Stidham was starting and had a Stidham-esque performance.
You know, let's talk.
The Bills' future is bright for a number of reasons.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Before they get out, you can go. You can stay in the division though.
In the AFC East, yes. I was gonna ask about Jarrett Stidham taking over for the Patriots because I mean, obviously he's our boy. Okay, he's an Auburn guy. We love him, but how do we feel about him taking over New England? Because it looks like he's going to be the guy, at least for now.
Go to the film room. Get some work in. We need you. We need you.
Do we think Jarrett Stidham can figure this thing out?
I mean, I believe in his ability to change, but if his cannot be developed, which honestly, if you think about it, as great as Coach Belichick is, we haven't seen him develop a quarterback because, well, he hasn't had to. And he's been rolling with Brady for 20 plus years. Yeah, we've seen some great backups come out of New England. We saw both Jacoby Brissett and Jimmy G in the past 5 years come out and both have starting jobs in other parts of the league. But we haven't seen Belichick take someone from the ground up who was a bit shaky in college, which I don't think anyone would agree that Jarrett Stidham had some issues coming out of Auburn and develop them into a professional level quarterback. And so what we saw out of Jarrett Stidham this past year when backupping for Brady, it wasn't starter caliber. And we need to see whether or not he's going to be able to change or whether or not he's going to be stuck in a Mayfield-esque slump for the first couple years of his career. And I think if something big doesn't happen for Stidham this year in New England, it's definitely going to become a buyer's market up in New England for the Patriots.
Are you surprised? Well, Tom Brady wasn't under contract. They couldn't do it anyway. But because there was reports, I don't know if you guys saw the reports about what happened last year, but there were reports that Tom Brady was going to hold out at a training camp last year because of some disagreements that he had with the team. So I'm kind of surprised that the Patriots didn't just get him a 2-year contract, knew it was going to happen, and just tried to trade him. They let him walk. Yeah.
What would you get for Tom Brady though? Like
at least because of Tom Brady, because it's like put it this way, it's like buying a new Mercedes without looking under the hood. You know?
Yeah.
It looks good, sticker price and all. Oh, it's good. Then you look under and there's like some crappy engine.
I mean,
right?
while we're talking about the Tom Brady situation, let's also just bring up the Bucs are also listed as a offseason winner, which I guess you can't disagree with, especially talking about that starting offense. This article also makes note of the increase in ticket sales that's going to bring in. The Bucks have ranked number 30 pretty consistently in ticket sales, and that's especially with their warmer weather climate, and a lot of road fans come out to the Bucks games. And this also makes note of the fact that the last playoff game the Bucks won was that Super Bowl championship all the way back in 2002. So whether or not Tom Brady does anything big down in the Bay, it's definitely going to change the atmosphere surrounding Ray J and the Wilson Bay area.
All right, I'm going to say it. I don't think the Buccaneers are winners in free agency. I think they won for themselves, but I don't think they're like a big winner in free agency. I think other teams did better jobs, right? You sign Tom Brady to a big contract. Congratulations, but there are so many other things that they need to fix. It doesn't matter how good Tom Brady is or can be if he's gonna get sacked 30 times in the season. Yes, Devin.
When you say winners, and I understand what you're saying, but look at it like this. Now they're, like the ticket sales going to go up, so that's a winning. They're winning there. Then they got a quarterback, that's winning. Y'all said they need a quarterback, so they got a quarterback now, and the ticket sales going up. What else can you ask for?
I need them to put other pieces around Tom Brady first.
They got pieces already there.
I need an offensive line. That's the big thing, because it doesn't matter how good Tom Brady is if he's on IR by week 3. So I need an offensive line. He has weapons. He has all the wide receivers that he wants. He's gonna have that. The running back situation, I mean, I guess that's fine for Tampa Bay. The O-line and defense is what concerns me, and those are two things Tom Brady can't control. He can't control how good the offensive line is. He can't control how good that defense is. And I hate to say it, but Tom Brady's not a quarterback that can bring the Buccaneers back from every game. He has to get out in front and manage the game. Because that's how Patriots win. They dominate in the beginning. They don't come back from 20 points down every time.
Yeah, that's something like Patrick Mahomes. It seems like he just won't that. Like, we down by 30. It's okay.
Yeah. If Tom Brady gets down by 20, 30 points, the game's over, probably. The Buccaneers...
Go ahead.
Did the Buccaneers win, in a sense? Yes. I don't think it's going to pan out the way some people think it's going to pan out.
Okay, I can agree with that. If that's what you want to believe. I mean, I'm pretty sure my boy's going to the playoffs, and we're going to see what happens after that.
No.
I think that's how it's going to go.
Because there's still a team in that division that's a wild card that we don't know how well they're going to do. That's the Falcons.
I mean, whatever you say, Jared.
I'm just saying, because there were three different versions of the Falcons last year. There was the beginning of the season where Drew Brees went down, and we're like, oh, they're going to do it. They can win. They can take the division. And then there were the Falcons that completely tanked. And then at the end of the season, there were the Falcons that, for whatever reasons, wanted to win.
Yeah, there's the Falcons we saw on Thanksgiving night that basically fought tooth and nail against the Saints, recovered 3 onside kicks, and refused to lose that game.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I mean, this is a Falcons team that has the talent to be a 12-win team, but the execution to be a 4-win team. And we just don't know which one we're going to get.
So the Falcons are the wild card. The Panthers are a wild card, too, because I think it sucks Cam's leaving, but having Teddy Bridgewater does open up a dual threat option that the Panthers do like. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater, if he can figure that out, along with Christian McCaffrey. I'm
really glad they got rid of an injury-prone quarterback for a guy that's never really had any injury problems before. I think that's a good move on the front office's part.
I mean, I guess you can't have any injury problems if you never really played.
Moving on, we're looking at the Cowboys, who have been declared winners by ESPN, and for reasons relating to none other than the man himself, Dak Prescott. Dak obviously extremely vocal about wanting to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL for some reason or another. I don't know if he watches his games or if he knows there are other quarterbacks in the NFL. But Dak Prescott has been franchise tagged, so he looks to be doing the same route as Kirk Cousins by playing under the tag for the next 2 years and then going somewhere else if things don't pan out in Big D.
I completely forgot that Teddy Bridgewater was the Vikings quarterback until I said that, and I was like, I don't know.
I mean, I get why Dak Prescott feels some type of way, but my guy, I mean, you had to beat the Eagles at the end of the year. Carson Wentz had nobody and won. Like, I mean, what do you want them to do? I mean, I get it. You know, get your money, get paid. I mean, you are a great quarterback, great quarterback. And
are you though? Is Dak top third in the NFL? Is he great?
Let me go into my Carter Bird mind right quick. I gotta go.
Other than his second season where the Cowboys lost to the Packers in the playoffs, and the O-line and Zeke Elliott really, I mean, I could have taken the Cowboys to the playoffs that year. I haven't seen anything out of Dak to prove to me that he's among the elite in the NFL.
He just with Dak, it's just like he just doesn't have that pop. Like it's nothing like, oof, like there goes, you know, Dak Prescott. He just like get it done. So I mean,
how much does having a new head coach change a lot of that for the Cowboys?
I mean, we'll see. I mean, Mike McCarthy, it has the Belichick syndrome. I mean, he's been gift wrapped Aaron Rodgers for his entire tenure at Green Bay. So we've never seen him develop a quarterback. I think the closest thing we saw to that was Brett Hundley, who I don't know where he is, but Brett Hundley was the only other notable quarterback of the Mike.
I think on the Browns. I want to say I saw him in a Browns uniform.
He's the only other notable quarterback from the McCarthy era in Green Bay. And we're looking at Mike McCarthy. We don't know if he's going to be able to. I mean, is Dak back right now, or is he yet to be what he? I mean, he's got to work above his pay grade if you want that pay grade of $70 million or whatever he wants. But we haven't seen that out of him yet. I mean, he needs to prove himself before he gets the bag.
Never mind. Brett Hundley played for the Cardinals last year.
Okay. Yeah.
That's pretty damning.
He threw for 49 yards.
Jesus. How many pass attempts was that? Please.
That's probably one play, honestly. That was probably a screen pass to Larry Fitzgerald that he then ran for 49 yards.
He just busted open for.
He played in 3 games. He was 5 for 11 for 49 yards.
You know what? What can you? Anytime.
All right. Speaking of the Cardinals declared another winner of the offseason. I think
yes.
Yeah.
Easy.
Ahead of the time. Coming off offensive rookie of the year, Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, joining the ranks. But we're looking at their Cardinals offense that struggled a little bit last year. 217.3 passing yards a game, was 24th in the league. And Murray was only averaging 7 yards per attempt when targeting receivers. That was 29th in the league. So is DeAndre Hopkins going to help out Kyler Murray? Obviously, yes, but is it going to be enough to help the Cardinals compete in maybe one of the tougher divisions in football right now? I mean, you're looking at the Rams, who are really have kind of the Falcon syndrome of a lot of talent, a lot of youth, but very poor execution. The Seahawks, who continue to reload with, obviously a lot of the moves they've made, it seems like the Seahawks were out of it and then came right back into it and were in a dogfight for the 1 seed last year in the NFC. And then you have lastly, that other team in the division, the reigning Super Bowl appearers, the NFC champion San Francisco 49ers. So is this division just too stacked for the Cardinals to have any kind of success? You're looking at 2 great defenses, 2 of the best defenses in the 49ers and the Seahawks. That's 4 games that Kyler Murray is going to have to deal with that. Is that going to be a major roadblock in the way for this Cardinals offense?
If you look right at you just look at the offense and don't even look at like division-wise, they really stack up really well. But if you think about it, you have to play the 49ers twice. Then you got to play the Seahawks twice. Then you got to play the Rams. That division is just not one of them divisions you really want to be a part of, and you still have a young quarterback, so it's going to be still some learning. Deshaun been really thinking about like Watkins and stuff like that, so it's gonna be rough. But offense wise they'd be all right, but just that division is kind of hard though.
It is a hard division, and honestly, I have no idea how they're gonna pull. I can't tell you who's gonna win that division because it could be anybody in that division. I can see a lot of things happening. I mean, we're talking about a division where, like,
well, Seahawks gonna have 10 wins off the rip.
Really?
That's 10 wins off the rip. Like, I don't see Russell Wilson worth 8 games by himself. So 2 games got to be won somewhere else. I can see 10 off the rip for Russell Wilson.
So I mean, you have the Seahawks, you have the Rams, which they were 800 team last year. I don't know if they get better, but you got the Rams. You have the Cardinals, which they obviously gotten better, and then you have 49ers. Yes. Sorry. This is what happens when you go without sports for like a week, and then you have the 49ers, which we should probably point out that they went to the Super Bowl. So that's we're talking about the hardest division to predict, or the hardest division in the NFL. While the NFC South is probably still number 1, the NFC West is probably number 2 because I don't know who's winning that.
I got the Seahawks.
I got the Niners again.
Who you got, Jack?
It's going to be hard for the Niners to repeat, especially if their scheme has been figured out. I like the Seahawks to just find a way to win games. And as much as I hate the Seahawks, I really admire their refusal to lose in a lot of these situations and their ability to be one of the few teams in the past 10 years in the NFL, maybe alongside the Patriots, to be able to reload and retool themselves year in and year out. So the Seahawks are my way too early favorite. And to wrap up the winners segment of free agency, let's have a little laugh because the ESPN has declared Chase Daniel a winner of free agency.
Where he even at?
Let's learn. Chase Daniel, 33 years of age, extended an incredible and unique career arc as a quarterback who has never once competed to start, but has played well enough when called upon to merit more than a decade as a backup. After a 2-year stint with the Bears, which followed time with the Saints, Chiefs, and Eagles, Daniel signed a 3-year deal with the Lions that would max out at $13.5 million. Assuming he makes the final roster, Daniel will likely surpass $40 million in career earnings in the year 2020. In 10 NFL seasons, Daniel has made 5 starts and thrown a total of 7 touchdown passes. $40 million man, Chase Daniel.
I have no words, to be quite honest.
Wow. So wow. Yeah, he definitely is a winner.
He's a winner. The Lions, and I got to assume that for the Lions, they didn't know how dominoes were going to fall, so they signed Chase Daniel to a 3-year deal. But after 30 minutes ago, we were talking about how, well, what about somebody backing up Matthew Stafford? Little did we know, $40 million man Chase Daniel was already on the job.
Hey,
it's tough for the Lions.
Hey, man, imagine this, though. How does it feel knowing that you're not going to start, but you're getting paid pretty good? You don't even got to worry about starting. They don't even expect you to start.
You just got to throw seven touchdown passes in 10 years.
Ask Extra Point favorite Nicholas Batum, because he knows. He's getting a lot more than that.
Yeah.
And now the season counts, and he's
still getting money.
And he's also thinking about his Olympic run with Rudy Gobert on Team France.
Yeah, so I mean, the real winner in all this, Nicholas Batum.
All right, let's move on to let's wrap up the show with talking about some big losers of free agency. And ESPN has grouped together the Dolphins and the Lions together as big losers for the same reason. They are trying to replicate the Patriots and failing spectacularly in doing so.
Well, the Lions are not surprising because Matt Patricia apparently doesn't know that he can sign other players that did not play in New England.
Yeah, so the Dolphins, linebacker Kyle Van Noy, linebacker / fullback Landon Roberts, $57 million guaranteed to Byron Jones, who will play alongside veteran Xavier Howard. The team now leads the NFL in salary cap tied to the cornerback position. possibly because Flores wants to play Patriot-style man-to-man defense. And we're looking at the Lions, led by Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia, both former Patriots. They guaranteed linebacker Jamie Collins Sr. $18 million while also agreeing to terms with defensive tackle Danny Shelton and trading for defensive back Deron Harmon. So both the Patriots and Lions trying to be the Patriots and looking for success where there probably is none. As once, time and time again, these teams and other teams have tried to do this little charade of trying to be Belichick, and it hasn't worked out historically.
Well, I would definitely say this. The Miami Dolphins was my hot take of the year, and I was definitely correct.
That was a scalding hot take.
But I'm gonna stick on that Miami Dolphin bandwagon. They ain't gonna come in last.
Oh no, you heard that? He said we. He said we.
You know what? I'm a Dolphin fan. Let's go. All right, so we're going to go 8-8, and we're gonna sneak into the playoff as the last wild card.
I mean, I don't hate it. I think the Dolphins were a good team at the end of the year.
I mean, who's going to be playing quarterback for the Dolphins by the end of the season, you think? Rosen?
Cam Newton.
Well,
now that, I wouldn't be angry.
Now, considering that Ryan Fitzpatrick is Ryan Fitzpatrick still on the Dolphins?
Let's do a Fitzception watch and find out where.
I don't know what his
is.
I don't know what his deal was. I assume he's still on Miami. I think it was a 2-year deal.
Yeah, he's still on the Dolphins.
So Fitzmagic is going to start the year. Josh Rosen, he's done. His NFL career pretty much is over. We'll see him in the XFL.
That's tough.
The backup for the Dolphins will be Tua Tagovailoa. Now, who finishes the year for the Dolphins? I don't know. It depends on whether.
I think Tua gonna chill for the whole year.
That's assuming the draft happens.
Yeah. They can do the draft via live chat like the XFL did, and everybody just clap.
I mean, you say that, but they've canceled all public portions of the draft. So we could be looking at a conference call like the MLB did for all those years until the MLB network stepped in.
I mean, also,
That would be so boring.
Didn't they shut down the Vegas Strip? Like, isn't that shut down right now?
Yeah, that's shut down, and every public portion. So even if they did have the draft live, which is looking doubtful, it wouldn't have had all the song and dance, players arriving via boat that we all talked about, Antonio Brown on the jet ski. Which, speaking of that, I saw a headline of Tom Brady wanting to bring Antonio Brown to Tampa Bay.
Look, there's no fans for him there to assault, so might as well.
Florida man Antonio Brown strikes again, I guess, and Tom Brady just wants to be part of the action. He wants to go out with a bang and not a whimper. So whether or not he's going to be able to win games in Tampa Bay, he wants some excitement with Antonio Brown on the scene, jet ski pulling up to Ray J. A couple more losers in free agency. Obviously, the Texans, the Patriots, and the Bears, who, man, the Bears kind of admitted to their mistake, moving on from their top draft picks in both 2016 and 2017, dumping both Leonard Floyd, linebacker, and Mitch Trubisky. They doled out $30 million in guarantees to get Robert Quinn, who will turn 30 in the next coming year. And they also got Foles to replace Trubisky, as we all know. One last thing for the Bears, they have signed tight end Jimmy Graham to a 2-year, $16 million deal. So he will be facing off against his former NFC North rival Green Bay.
So is Trubisky still on the Bears?
Man, I think on paper, yeah.
So he's a backup, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. And everything is right in the world as he's back up once again.
This is just a sad state of affairs.
The Texans are the worst. They're the worst. They're definitely the worst. I mean,
how long until the Texans trade J.J. Watt?
What about Deshaun Watson?
I think J.J. Watt retires, honestly, before he gets traded. J.J. Watt sells tickets, and J.J. Watt's going to... DeAndre
Hopkins did too. You see what they did to him.
DeAndre Hopkins also doesn't tear his pec every game that he get. I mean, he gets to start, he tears his pec, he's out. So I don't know how much JJ Watt has left in the tank. As much as I hate to say it, that I don't know the mental fatigue you have to go through every year to get psyched up for the season like that and have to sit it out. It's gotta be frustrating for him. I just don't know what to do if you're the Texans. Like, are you trying to contend again with Watson? Are you trying to make a run for the playoffs?
Apparently not.
After
Watson guarantee though.
The franchise somehow didn't get dismantled after the drubbing in KC, but I just don't see how you can come back from that. I mean, are we looking at a playoff Texans team? The division they're in is relatively weak, but I don't know if it's weak enough to let this sorry excuse for a front office. And I guess, do they have a GM now, or is Bill O'Brien still the GM?
No, Bill O'Brien is the GM.
He is the GM.
He was named the GM and then did this.
That's not a recipe for success.
He was interim GM. At the end of the year, they were like, "Oh, well, you got to the playoffs and you did well enough," and then he did this.
He didn't do well enough.
This guy right here, man.
He lost the most winnable game in maybe AFC playoffs history.
Most definitely.
I mean, we're looking at Oilers, Bills, circle the wagons type situation. It was that bad.
And then you're in a division where the Jaguars traded away their quarterback. I don't know. But they also lost a lot of their defensive players they're trading away and getting rid of. The Titans signed Ryan Tannehill to, I mean, look, Tannehill got his money, so he do him. But you can't just rely on Derrick Henry the whole time. They got to get something out there. And
they should have paid my guy, man. They should have paid my guy.
The Colts are doing Colts thing, I guess. I think the Colts are getting better. I don't know if they win the division, but they definitely got better.
How did the Tennessee Titans pay him over?
I don't know. What's Derrick Henry's contract status right now?
I mean, they unfranchised him.
They franchised Derrick Henry?
Yeah. They paid the dude who threw 9 passes in a playoff game, and then paid the man who's ran almost 1,000 yards in the last four games of the season. Like,
you know what I think it is? I think Derrick Henry probably wanted to get franchise tagged because you get your money, and then
I can see.
And then if things go sideways, you can get out.
You do the Kirk Cousins routine where you play under the tag for 2 years, and that's possibly what we're looking at Dak doing in Dallas. Same situation. It's a guy that believes they're worth a lot more than they're getting playing on a team that isn't performing up to the way that they would like to perform, going under the tag, so they have options, like Jared said, if things go sideways in a couple of years. And the Titans are a team that are teetering on the brink of success. I mean, make it all the way to the AFC Championship game in a pretty unconventional fashion. We'll see if they can repeat that success this year. But for a team like the Titans, which can be a contender and a pretender at the same time, especially with that coaching staff, I think it's a smart move for Henry to stay under the tag.
Or, here we go. Todd Gurley wants out. You trade Todd Gurley. You just walk Derrick Henry and Todd Gurley and just call it a day.
Get him out of there. Played at Bama. He sucks.
Or Derrick Henry and Todd Gurley can go to the Miami Dolphins. I gotta get some players to the Dolphins. I mean, that's one goal.
I don't know how much draft capital you think the Dolphins have, but that ain't that.
I mean, if we had Heisman Trophy winners from Alabama, Georgia, and Auburn all on the same Dolphins team, I don't know if my heart could take that.
It's just like when the Ravens ran the Heisman formation, and you saw where that got them.
I mean, yeah, we haven't heard much about the Ravens, which that's a story for another time, and I'm sure we'll get to them in the future if they make any moves at all, which they seem to be sitting on their hands, which I think is a pretty smart move.
All right, it's 5:59. Well, anything else before we get out of here?
Hey man, shout out to Blissful Moments, man. Hey, but it's great to see y'all guys. Great to see y'all.
Well, we'll definitely have to.
Thanks for bringing this together, Jared. I really thought we were going to be without an extra point for 4 weeks, but here we are, like a phoenix rising from the ashes. We're back.
Well, here's the thing. I've now realized after 2 shows, it is a lot harder to talk about this than I thought it would be.
Hey, that's why we're watching Star Wars.
So we're really gonna have to come together as a group and put together the show rundown together, That's just
Yeah, Jared.
that's a mixture of. There was a show rundown. I sent it to you guys in an email.
Yeah, I saw it, but I mean, things never change. I didn't look at it.
So
Oh,
we're probably all going to come together and make a rundown for 2 hours of a mixture of sports, entertainment, etc., and then we'll just go from there.
Sounds
yeah,
good to
Jared,
me.
but you're doing a great job, bro. You're doing a great job, man.
I'm trying. I got to survive.
Have a good one.
I got to survive these streets.
Go see some sunshine.
That does it for the extra point here on WEGL 91.1 FM.